Today, Trump let it rip on California politicians. I'm going to share with you the video footage as he does not hold back. He lets them know all of their shortcomings for the state of California. Now, this comes as I let you know earlier today that we had heard that he was going to be traveling to Los Angeles and to North Carolina. Trump meets with California residents, fire, and law enforcement officials to see LA wildfire damage firsthand. But while he's there, he meets with Governor Gavin Newsom, and he meets with politicians. He meets with the mayor of Los Angeles, and he lets them know all of the areas where he feels like they have fallen short and let the people of California down. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, but I'm going to share with you the video footage so you can see it for yourself and take a look at this. Trump travels to North Carolina and to California, and in addition to that, if you missed it earlier today, I shared with you, FEMA is not good. Trump announces agency overhaul during his visit to North Carolina. Trump is saying by executive order, he might end FEMA. He's saying, or we can do an overhaul, we can reduce it. Now, I think he said that he will need Congress to do this, but he is saying, what is the point of FEMA? They have not been helping out people. They've been slow to do this. And he also tears into these California politicians. And if you are liking the sound of that, I'm going to share with you the video footage. And if you appreciate the updates, I'm going to share with you some clips. Now, this was, I think, a 2.5 hour, almost 3 hour long press conference that was held in Los Angeles regarding the fires and the situations, but this is just going to be very quick. I'm going to share with you the highlights so you can see it for yourself. And if you appreciate that, do me a favor, take a quick second, hit that like button, subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? But with that being said, let's go and play the video footage so you can see it for yourself.
We're bringing our city departments together so that people don't get caught in the loop of going from one room to the next. We want them all to be in the same room so that you can get busy rebuilding ASAP. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And we will clear the lots, absolutely, in the city and in the county. We are working together. Both levels of government are working in unity.
Months? Is it like that's the answer that we got, and that's what we're all hanging on?
Yes.
So if you're telling us now faster, is it 6 months? Is it, I mean, all of our lives, rents, all this stuff is weighing on this.
6 months is no good.
And the number one thing that we are going to do immediately, and you will see this happen, is to clear out the debris. And you know, we're concerned right now over the weekend because of the potential rain, but we are going to move as fast as we can, but we want you to be safe, and we want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't cost a lot.
Yes, and they can.
You should let them do it, because by the time you hire contractors, it's going to be 2 years.
If a family...
The people are willing to get a dumpster and do it themselves and clean it out.
And they can.
There's not that much left. It's all incinerated.
That's right.
And, you know, it's just going to take a long time if you do. You can do some of it, but a lot of these people, I know that guy right there that's talking, I know my people. You'll be on that thing tonight, throwing the stuff away, and your site it'll look perfect within 24 hours, and that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to wait around for 7 months till the city hires some demolition contract that's going to charge him $25,000 to do his lot. Yeah. I think you have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked, I mean, you have a very powerful emergency power, and you can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes. And if individuals want to clear out their property, they can. Yes, but you know that you will be able to go back soon.
Mr. President.
We think within a week.
That's a long time, a week. I'll be honest. To me, everyone's standing in front of their house. They want to go to work, and they're not allowed to do it.
And the most important thing is for people to be safe.
They're safe. They're safe. You know what? They're not safe. They're not safe now. They're going to be much safer. A week is actually a long time, the way I look at it. I watched hundreds of people standing in front of their lots, and they're not allowed to go in. It's all burned. It's gone. It's done. Nothing's going to happen to it. It's not going to burn anymore. There's nothing to burn. There's almost nothing to burn. And they want to go in. The people are all over the place. They're standing, and I say, why aren't you going in? We're trying to get a permit. And the permit's going to take them, everybody said 18 months. You said 18 months. You said 18 months.
Last night.
And that was last night.
On that.
We can't even see our homes right now. We are blocked from entering our street.
Right.
We can't even. This is our first time we saw our house. Was yesterday.
Wow. So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. And that was the Los Angeles Mayor Bass. And she was saying, like, we're going to help people out. We're going to get this done. And then they were saying, well, how long is this going to take? Is it going to take 6 months? Is it going to take months, weeks? How long is this going to take? And Trump was sitting there saying they need to get this done now. A week is too long. You should already be helping people out. He said, I can tell just by looking at the people here right now. They want to get back into their homes. They'll move the debris themselves. Don't make them wait for a contractor to do this. And I know a lot of people might enjoy seeing that because Mayor Bass, again, was the individual mayor of Los Angeles while we had those warnings of potential fire and winds, and it was an emergency situation. She decided to go out of the country, go to Africa for some sort of an event, and then she came back and people were asking, hey, do you think that they deserve an apology that you left everybody in the state of emergency to go on a trip to Africa? And she had no comment. So a lot of people, I think, are glad to see Mayor Bass being held to the fire, her feet held to the fire on that. So Donald Trump coming to California, and he's not holding back. He's letting it rip. Dan Lutzka, thank you for the $10 super chat. When will the JFK files, when will they be released? Oh, great question, Dan. So if you missed it, it has been signed as an executive order within the next 15 days, I believe. The JFK files will be declassified. We'll start getting information. 15 days from the time of the executive order. So I think maybe 12 more days, roughly 2 more weeks. You should see that. Thank you for that super chat. And also the other ones following, I think the MLK and the RFK ones, I believe it's 50 days if I don't remember. If I remember correctly, I'm not quite sure, but I'll keep you up to date on that too. But let's go ahead and take a look at another clip as Trump lets it rip here. Take a look at this as he hits Brad Sherman about insurance issues in California. A little bit of back and forth. This one from Fox News.
A big percentage, I would assume, Brad, like that. What are they going to do? Go ahead.
Mr. President, without your help, they're only going to get $43,000 from the federal government, even if they have a half
Well,
million dollar
you did something,
loss.
Brad, where every insurance company in the country left California. That's why you have no insurance, because you made it so impossible. People that think like you made it so impossible. And
Brad, me,
every
Mr.
insurance
President,
company.
I don't know what
I'll tell you this
about my thinking.
I've never seen a state where almost nobody has insurance. And I said, what happened? And they said like 6 months ago they all left, and 2 years ago they had different quadrants, but they left. And you have very little insurance here. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
We had a lot of insurance companies pull out, but I have no idea.
And the insurance companies actually have been warning you. Now, I'm not a big fan of insurance companies. Okay, they have their big drawbacks too, but the insurance company I've been reading, I read the papers very well, and they've been warning California for a long time. They've also been saying we want water. You don't have water. You're supposed to get fire insurance, and the insurance company goes, you don't have any water in your fire hydrants. So it's a tough situation.
There you have it, you guys. And that was Donald Trump letting it rip, as I mentioned, on Brad Sherman, saying your ridiculous, idiotic policies in California has made it so that way there's no insurance coverage. And he said, you don't know what I'm thinking, Mr. President. And Trump just let him have it. So Trump not holding back, laying into these California politicians in this meeting, which is so funny because as he arrived there, we saw Gavin Newsom greet him on the tarmac, and they were discussing things. And one of the reporters actually had said this. They said, in the past, you guys have not seen eye to eye. Actually, just recently, you guys have not seen eye to eye on a lot of things. What is your response to that? And Trump said, hey, we are here to help. He said, we're here to help the people of California. That is the objective. We're going to see what we can do. And then there was no comment from Gavin Newsom at first, and then Trump turned to Gavin Newsom and he pointed to him and he's like, unless California doesn't need our help. And then Gavin Newsom said, California needs all the help we can get. So Trump kind of enforcing, hey, do you actually want my help? If so, I am here to give it, but I'm going to address a lot of these shortcomings in the policies of California, and he is doing just that, letting it rip on them. Now, in addition to that, let's go ahead and take a look at some more footage that came out here, as he also talked about the permits and the issues with the permits. You heard him mention that this could take like 18 months. Well, take a look at this as he says, we're going to be waiving the permits. We don't even want this to take 10 days.
Because we're going to waive, just about essentially waive all federal permits. We're going to have you go very quickly because a federal permit can take 10 years. We're not going to do that. We don't want to take 10 days. I would. So we're declaring this a national emergency. By doing that, I can give you immediate permits. I'd ask that the local permitting process be the same. Some of the people were saying they're going to be forced to wait 18 months for their permits, and I don't think you're going to do that. I can't imagine that. So they are literally in a position right now they'd like to start tonight, and they'll clean their site, they'll do everything. They just want to start. And they were very concerned with the 18 months, so I'm sure you can get it down to, I would say, not even 18 days. They are ready, Mayor, they are ready to start because we're going to waive.
There you have it. He said they're going to waive those permits. They don't want it to take 10 years, not even 10 days. And they had mentioned 18 months. And he said, listen, we need to get this going now. He said, there's no reason to wait for this. He said, just get it done. He said, that's going to be my policy, is just get it done. Get people's homes built, help them get started now. If they want to start on their own, they can go for it. He said if there's debris there, they don't need to wait for a cleanup crew. You heard him mention that to the mayor, saying, hey, listen, just let them go for it. What are you waiting for? Letting it rip. And she was saying, hey, they can do it if they want. And he said, a week is too long. They need to start now. And you heard that one individual say that today was the first day that she had seen her home since the Palisade fires had begun. So they are eagerly awaiting, and it wasn't until Donald Trump showed up today, January the 24th, 2025, to visit California, that they were even able to get access to their homes. Now, here's another one as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. This is an honor to be with you. Unfortunately, it's a very sad period, but what makes you feel good is I met so many of the homeowners, and every one of them, a lot of them, and every one of them said to me they want to rebuild. I said, will you go elsewhere? No. It wasn't even like a question. They love the area. They love the people. It's like a family. It's incredible, actually, when you see some things like that. We just left North Carolina, and we had just a similar type of disaster. It was water instead of fire, but boy, that water did damage like I've never seen before. And then you come here and you see this. But the people are so amazing, and your fire department was so beautiful. Every one of them is in perfect physical shape. I said, what do you guys do? They have very high standards, I can tell you. And we took pictures with all of them, but very nicely they gave us a little helmet. And I said, you wear this, huh? Is this real? And they said, yeah. I said, it's awfully heavy. You have to be very strong to wear that. But that's the original, right? So it's pretty good. But I just want to thank everybody. We're going to be with you. Your governor met us at the plane, and we had a good talk, very, very positive talk. We have to work together to get this really worked out. I don't think you can realize how rough it is, how devastating it is until you see it.
There you have it, you guys. And so he said, it's a very sad situation right now that they're going to try to get things back on track. And actually, Sandy Fetty, thank you for the $5 super chat. She says, originally from Switzerland, and we do not have forest fires like they have in California. We have laws to keep it clean and managed. And that is exactly one of the main things that Donald Trump has vocalized. He said, we need to manage the forestry. You need to manage your water. These are some of the issues. Now, I had played a clip for you earlier today as ABC News had said, no, that is not the case. This is a very unique situation. But I'm here to let you know that as a former California resident, I can tell you that is the situation. Whether it's, they say it's global warming or mismanagement of the forestry, whatever the case is, there are serious fire situations to the point where we left because I couldn't breathe there. I was developing asthma so bad. Every summer there was fires. I could not breathe. I had to leave. I had enough of it. I just said, I can't live like this anymore. And so this is not something that is new or a unique situation. Yes, it's unique that it's happening in the middle of January. There was extremely high, strong winds. We even saw a fire tornado that came about. But this is a problem that has been here for quite some time. There is no excuse and reason why this should not be addressed for years. For years, this has been going on. And that is a great point. Thank you for that, Fetty, is that there needs to be management of the state. And so that is exactly what Trump is doing. He's coming in and letting them know, you guys have failed the people of California. And it looks like from this meeting here, you can hear people are very upset, and they're glad to see Donald Trump coming in, taking control, saying it needs to start now. We need to help the people. Who knows? Maybe California will flip red. Let me know your thoughts. Now, one of the other things was that we had heard that he potentially could put stipulations on these federal funds, these funds to go to California. And there was two requirements. First is that they need to better manage their resources of water and forestry. And the other one was that they need to have voter ID. Because what Trump is then insinuating is that there is no voter ID requirements for California. How do we actually know that Gavin Newsom is winning all of these elections, or any of the officials? He said, let's go ahead and have voter ID so we can track exactly who is voting, how they're voting, and then we can know for sure. So Donald Trump with that kind of insinuating that maybe there are more people than we realize that are sick of Gavin Newscum, he calls him. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And I see somebody saying, Rob saying, hit that like button. Yes, if you haven't done so yet, please do so. I appreciate that a ton. Now, also, I got another clip here for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one coming out as he hits Sherman up again.
Mr. President, if I can just defend FEMA a little bit.
Yeah.
They brought thousands of people in. I don't know how they're doing in other states. They're doing a good job for us here. They've got a huge center that's open from 9 in the morning till 8 at night. But also, when you have a disaster this size, you need to be able to deploy thousands of people, which they've been able to do. Now, California, if we did it on our own, maybe we'd have thousands of people.
You do.
But if Rhode Island has a Palisades disaster, are they then supposed to keep
How many people do you have in California? 36? How many million? How many million people do you have?
But
you have 40 million people. You're not going to get a few thousand people. The problem with FEMA is they come from all over the country. They end up in arguments with your people from California because they want to do it a totally different way. And I can live either way, but you haven't gotten very much done with FEMA and all you have to do is look at North Carolina. It's one of the great disasters of all time.
And Mr. President, you can't have Rhode Island maintain a staff of thousands and thousands of people waiting to see if they have a disaster.
You know who came in and fixed North Carolina or the process? Other states, people from all over the country came. And you have the same thing. You have a lot of people from all over the country. Getting the people is not a problem. Getting the organization's a big problem. FEMA's incompetently run, and it costs about 3 times more than it should cost.
I'm hoping
we can spend money on schools instead of giving money to bureaucracy. It takes you so much longer.
Mr. President,
it takes you so much longer
FEMA for helping our people.
FEMA has a standard, Brad, and I'm a builder. I was a very good builder. FEMA has a standard that's so slow. They want permit on permit on permit, and then they want permits on top of that. If you use FEMA, you'll be here for a long time. What I'm saying is get the city, get the state to give you immediate 24-hour permits. These people are going to build their own homes. They're going to get them built fast. Yeah. How many of the people, could I ask you one question? How many of the people, what are people going to do for financing? What are people going to do? How many people can build a home, percentage-wise, like where they don't have to go out and get funds? Some people are just not going to be able to rebuild their home because they have a beautiful home, but they don't have cash.
So there you have it, you guys. Donald Trump laying it down, not holding back on these California politicians. And it started with Gavin Newsom out on the tarmac as he called him out, and it wasn't Donald Trump. It was the reporter saying, you and Gavin Newsom, have clashed. You haven't seen eye to eye. Are you going to be able to work together to get some sort of financial support and effort from the federal government to California? And Donald Trump said, the purpose for me being here is to help out the people of California. I'm here for the people. And then he turned to Gavin Newsom, and Gavin Newsom did not say anything initially. And then he said, unless California doesn't need any funds. And then Gavin Newsom stepped up and he said California needs all the help that it can get right now. So Donald Trump saying, hey, are you on board? Are you willing to work with me? You got your hands out. I'm here. But you're going to hear it. I need you to address and acknowledge the fact that I'm here to help you out. And he's coming in and letting them know the reason why this is happening is because of this and this and this and you and you and you. So Donald Trump taking care of business, coming to California, laying it down, and letting the politicians know to their face one by one. So those are some of the highlights. Again, if you want to see it, it's across several different news media outlets. I pulled some of these from C-SPAN, Fox News. I'm actually pulling these from other sources on X as well. The entire interview is on there, but these are just a couple of highlights where he was just not holding back, letting them know what was going on. So hopefully there's going to be some aid going out here to North Carolina and to California here very soon. They're going to address some of these issues to help prevent it in the future. And it's good to see a president stepping up, actually on the scene, taking care of things. And if you appreciate that, don't forget, drop a 47 in the comments and hit that like button. But I'll keep you guys up to date as more information comes out. Also, if you missed it, I did an update on the drones earlier today as we got some more information coming out from that New Jersey mayor. And as more comes out, I'll be sure to let you guys know here on the channel. But that is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys have a blessed night, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.